Kia ora, this severe weather update is from Saturday the 14th of October. Strong winds and gales have already made their presence felt across the South Island. As we go through the rest of Saturday afternoon, we are going to find those winds increasing. A red severe weather warning has been issued for those strong winds through Canterbury. We could find gusts as much as 140 to 150 kilometres an hour. So an incredibly windy situation through the Canterbury area. Wrapping around this area of low pressure, those winds are really intense. Those purple colours showing the strongest winds through Canterbury as we head through the rest of today. And also up in towards places like Marlborough and Wellington and Wairarapa, warnings for you as well. But the strongest winds are likely to be around the likes of Canterbury as we go through the rest of Saturday. You can see we've also got warnings for heavy rainfall on that western coast of the South Island. Watches as well for strengthening winds, perhaps reaching a severe gale through parts of Southland and Otago. And warnings as well for those winds through Wellington, Wairarapa and also Marlborough. We could find gusts of wind to around about 120 kilometres an hour. But the strongest winds will be through Canterbury. That's why we've got our severe red warning for those winds. Now, please remember that these red warnings are issued only for the most severe weather situations. So this is an incredibly windy story as we head through the rest of Saturday. Wind speeds still reaching up into towards severe gale with gusts perhaps 120, perhaps even 130 kilometres an hour as we go through the daytime in the most exposed areas. And those winds may reach even 140 to even 150 kilometres an hour in the most exposed parts of the Canterbury High Country for the latter part of the morning and through in towards the afternoon. Now this warning runs right the way through to around about 5 p.m. today, 5 p.m. on Saturday. But we are likely to find more strong winds back with us, not to the same extent, but another bout of strong winds as we head on into Sunday as well. So please keep an eye on the forecast. With these kind of winds, we are expecting damage to things like trees and power lines, and that will also mean a lot of fallen debris, which could be flying around in those strong winds as well. So do take extra care, extra precautions out and about this afternoon, especially if you're driving high-sided vehicles, motorcycles. Really will be a dangerous situation out there. Please take extra care of yourself and look out for your friends and whānau. It is going to be a very windy story through the likes of Canterbury as we go through to daytime. Now, overnight things do ease off, a brief break, but you can see another pulse of wind and wet weather feeding back towards the South Island for Sunday. So please do keep an eye on the forecast and more importantly on those watches and warnings. And you can find all the latest information at metservice.com.